So today I have my main man here, Richard Kiley. So Richie, please introduce yourself.
Um, Richard Kiley. I'm a professional MMA fighter. In the evening and by day, I work in an office.
Amazing, excellent.
Rockstar behaviour. I manage a customer operation. MMA. I actually came to MMA quite late, so I came to MMA maybe when I was 33. It was 4 days off 34, so I came to it quite late. But doing martial arts since I'm 7. Started off with karate, then went to kung fu, and went to point fighting, and then full contact kickboxing. The full gamut of martial arts, and in terms of I've done boxing as well, K1, Muay Thai, and now MMA. So I'm getting punched in the face as a kid.
Excellent.
As you can see.
It sounds like you're well experienced when it comes to training, and you've been in a few different gyms. Just a quick question there. What exactly brought you into training itself? What attracted you to, let's say, kickboxing or boxing?
It's a good question. So I did it since I was a kid. I was kind of put into it as a child. There's a kind of a legacy in martial arts in my family. So I probably wasn't. I don't know if I would have chose it, but once I got into it, I don't know if I enjoyed it or just became part of my lifestyle and part of my life. And then there's some good aspects to it. I enjoyed the fitness level. I enjoyed I enjoyed martial arts, but the unhealthy aspect was that it became, I started to, my self-worth and the valuation I placed on myself became attributed to whether I win or lose a fight. And that's completely unhealthy, and that's one. If I had any advice to anyone going into martial arts, particularly competitive martial arts, that enjoy the process, enjoy the journey, and focus on performance rather than having your self-worth or your valuation on yourself attributed to wins or losses. Because it can happen. Like when you win, you're a good person, but when you lose, you're a shit person. So you need to keep that equilibrium, and focus on performance would be the key. Would be my key piece of advice for anyone going into competitive martial arts.
That actually brings us into the question that I was going to ask you after that, which is when it comes to mental health, a lot of people are suffering with that at the moment. How, for yourself or for anybody looking to get into it, how do you feel or how do you find that it helps you exercising or training?
So exercise, nutrition are key components of mental health. Look, I just want to qualify this by saying that I'm not a mental health professional, so I'm only speaking from my experience, but I do know that good nutrition and exercise are a key component of good mental health. There's other aspects to it as well in terms of being able to manage your anxiety levels, or if you go through traumas or abuse or any of that type of stuff. I think you need to seek the advice of a qualified therapist and not some idiot that gets punched in the mouth for a living. From my experience, training has been a key component in terms of me managing any difficulties that I go through, or everyone has their ups and downs. So training has always been a kind of a fallback. First of all, it helps you. I find if you take action, so if you're in a period of depression or a period of anxiety, it can make you feel paralyzed either with fear or what have you. So one of the key pieces of one of the key components of improving my situation, if I'm in that, is actually taking action, and that means just going to a gym. I might want to do it when I'm there, but if I go, that generally builds momentum. When I'm here now, I'll do a little workout, and when I do a little workout, I feel better. And I'm there, Jesus, why didn't I think of this before? And the thing is, when you're in those anxious moments or those depressive moments, that's completely the opposite. It lies to you. It tells you that's completely opposite the thing that I want to do. So you actually have to when I say you have to do so, it's so difficult to do, but little actions. So whether that's getting up and having a wash, making your bed, these little actions build momentum. So it's these little key steps are ones that build momentum and that lead to the bigger steps. So for example, if going for a run is too big, go for a walk, or go out to the garden and sit out in your garden, get some air. Whatever seems too big, pull it back a little bit and take a smaller step. But it's these small steps and these small little things that you do. These are all little pieces of self-care that will improve your situation, that will improve your mood and help kick you out at the depressive episode or anxious episode. I find. So the thing I find with martial arts in particular is that there's different motivations. People have different motivations that want to join. Some people want to be a fighter. Some people will want to gain self-confidence. Some people get bullied. Some people will just do it because they're interested in it. So what I would say is that martial arts is a great avenue for which people to go down in terms of developing confidence, fitness, all that type of stuff, and it's great crack. There's a lot of toxicity that goes involved with that, and I've been complicit in that in my profession. It's almost like you assume a persona, the bad guy persona, and what have you. yeah, it's almost like the showbiz aspect to generate interest. But the real core component of martial arts is fitness, honor, integrity, being, training, self-care, self-worth, developing confidence. All these type of stuff are components of martial arts that that people should be fixated on. And like I said, don't focus on I want to beat people up or learn all these fancy kicks. You stick with the fundamentals. Like, do it for the right reasons, I would say.
Brilliant. Thanks for that. And the last question from me to you is, at the moment, what are you thankful for?
What am I thankful for?
Yes, in your life in general. What are you thankful for? If you have to show gratitude to something.
What am I thankful for? Jesus, I'm thankful for loads of stuff. Like, I'm thankful I have a lovely little boy. I have a great kid. I look at him and I feel very, very lucky. If I'm in bad form or anything like that, I look at him and I just say, look, things. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. He can be a messer, and
like his dad. Yeah.
Understand? Can't lose the twinkle. I'm thankful for loads of stuff. I'm very, very lucky, Michael. To be honest, I've good job, good health, and I'm in a very good position. So I can balance. When I go through shit days or I go through bad days, it's very easy to balance off and just chalk it down. Look, that's just a bad day, because overall I'm very lucky. That's not to say that I don't go through my bad days or my depressive episodes, all that type of stuff. Everyone does, but it's having the discipline to know that they're a bad day as opposed to a bad life.
Look, I've known you now for nearly over 20 years. Seen your journey from the hardest, your lowest points, your highest points, and the one thing I can say, you're an absolute gentleman, you're a great man, and keep on being who you are.
Tell me more good things about myself.
No, that's the end of that. Now you get to ask me a question. One question.
I get to ask you a question?
Yeah.
Oh, what's your motivation for doing what you're doing?
There's a lot of stuff that motivates me. Obviously, my past, I'm not originally from this country. I was originally born in the Republic of Congo when I came to Ireland at a young age, and I've always known that I have to work hard.
Since you're a kid, I remember that.
Yes, so to me, the fact that I'm here, I'm always appreciative and always remember how lucky I am. I can't get lazy. I need to use that as a motivation. Background, look at the background, look where I came from. I don't make excuses for myself. If I want something, I work hard to get it. That's how life is. That's how life is always going to be. There's no sympathy for anybody. You have to work hard for anything that you want to get. So you can't use this or that as an excuse where you can't get something. Yeah. Anybody can get anything. They just have to put in the work.
Yeah. But it's been a journey for you to get from to where you are now, from where you were.
Yeah, 100%.
Same way for me, it's been a journey.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what I say to people: you can't compare your journey to someone else's. Yeah. We all gonna find that journey the hardest thing in the world. It's that saying of if you had 10 people in a room, they all put the problems on the table. You're gonna pick yours up and run off because you're gonna see that your issues are not that bad. So stop making excuses for yourself. Work hard for what you want, and you're gonna get it.
And I think that's deadly, man. Because you see the shape you're in now, you're in deadly shape. And for people to look at that and go, Jesus Christ, but there's a lot of work out of going into that.
But that's it.
Since, like I said, you would have been a lot thinner, a lot slimmer, and now you're in great nick. But you're out of putting in the hard work for that, so.
Much appreciated, my man. Thanks very much, Rich, and yeah.